Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. So somehow get the fuck out of here, dog.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
El zapato oficial. México no se puede convertir en la siguiente Palestina. Colonias israelíes formándose en lugares del país de México. México es la herencia solamente de los mexicanos. No queremos otras nacionalidades queriéndose adueñar de nuestra nación. ¡México no se vende! Desde la tierra del águila y la serpiente, que retumbe la historia. México se respeta. México no puede perder su identidad, ni entregar su territorio, ni vender su dignidad. La historia nos enseña. Tenemos memoria. Cada palmo de esta tierra lleva sangre, lleva historia. No importa cuánto dinero quieran ofrecer, hay cosas en la vida que no se pueden vender. Desde el norte hasta el sur se levanta nuestra voz. La patria no es negocio. Sin sembrar discriminación sobre México, esa es nuestra convicción. México no se vende. La tierra de nuestros padres pertenece a nuestra gente. México no se vende. Que todo el mundo lo entienda. No queremos colonialismo disfrazado de riqueza. Del desierto hasta la selva, de la sierra hasta la costa, cuando México se levanta, nadie compra nuestra historia. No queremos que el dinero dicte nuestra dirección, ni intereses extranjeros controlando la nación. Que se respeten nuestras leyes, nuestra constitución. La soberanía del pueblo no está puesta en negociación. Puebla, Sonora, Chiapas, Jalisco y Nuevo León, Veracruz, Oaxaca, Guerrero y Michoacán, 32 entidades levantando una canción. Primero está mi México y después la ambición. No importa tu apellido, tu creencia o religión, si respetas esta tierra mereces el mismo honor. Pero aquel que venga buscando controlar la nación encontrará un pueblo unido defendiendo su nación. No es cuestión de religiones, no es cuestión de nacionalidad, es cuestión de soberanía, de justicia y libertad. Que nadie compre en nuestros campos, que nadie mande sobre el pueblo. México tiene memoria y México tiene dueño. México no se vende, México se defiende, la tierra de nuestros padres pertenece a nuestra gente. México no se vende. arrodilló. De guerrero, de zapata, de quien por la patria luchó. Somos pueblos originarios, somos campo y tradición. Somos millones de voces compartiendo una nación. Que se escuchen las fronteras, que retumbe la ciudad. México abre sus caminos con justicia y dignidad. Pero nunca confundamos al inocente con el poder, porque defender la patria no significa odiar ni ofender. México no se compra, México no se entrega, México no se arrodilla. Desde Libres, Puebla para el mundo, Adán Betancourt. Antes del nombre América, antes del hierro y la cruz, había pueblos que hablaban con la tierra y con la luz. No era un mundo vacío, era ciencia y corazón. La historia empezó aquí mismo, aunque el invasor no pida perdón. Sembramos tiempo en el cielo cuando el mundo no sabía contar. El cero nació en la selva, el maíz nos enseñó a pensar. Calendarios y medicina, ciudades frente al sol. No era mito ni leyenda, era pueblo, era voz. No fue descubrimiento, fue invasión. No fue silencio, fue opresión. Antes del mapa, antes de ti, había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos pasado, somos raíz, aunque nos llamen historia, seguimos aquí. Desde el barro del origen hasta el jaguar ancestral, desde la selva profunda hasta el águila solar. Ciudades que eran mundos cuando Europa se partió, capitales que flotaban mientras el viejo mundo ardió. En la montaña aprendimos a vivir sin dominar, sin rueda y sin bestias, pero sabiendo gobernar. Caminos y comunidad, trabajo como misión. El poder no era conquista, era responsabilidad. No fue progreso, fue despojo. No fue fe, fue antojo. Antes del mapa, antes de ti, había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos pasado, somos raíz, aunque nos llamen historia, seguimos aquí. Hey. 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 Quemaron nombres, vendieron memoria, alzaron fronteras sobre nuestra historia. Nos dijeron atraso para robarnos la voz, civilización a balazos y la fe pa'l control. Pero la tierra recuerda, la raíz no se rinde. Aunque cambien las banderas, la herida no se extingue. De norte a sur somos la misma raíz, la misma herida que se pedir permiso para existir.
El autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. Well, that works. How come it doesn't? It's doing that shit again. Oh, I know why.
Aloud.
That's why.
Spare not.
Baboso.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Sorry, my
and
bad.
show.
I had it on mute. That's why. Baboso. All right. Hold on. Let me bring in the video. Bring the video, bro. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, that's what that is. I get it now. Okay, that's what that is. Got it. Damn, bro, I just started, dude. Shit, man, you guys can't be fucking patient. All right, let me explain something to you. Fucking, how do you like, I don't know, bro. Like, y'all need to be patient, okay? So the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of classes is because I live in a hot area, and fortunately, at one point in the 2 years before, I had my own office, so I ran classes, at any time I wanted. But since I don't have that option right now, you know what I mean? I do this shit out of the garage. Shit gets hot. And unless I do it in the morning, and right now I'm trying to stack my chips. I got this goal in mind. So I can't do these classes in the morning. By the time I'm done with work, which is around 2 o'clock to 2:30, that's the maximum I can handle, because then it gets really hot after that. I can't do no classes. And then when I try at 9, 10, it's barely cooling down. So I got to put the fan on and shit. That's why I do these late classes. I'm not trying to avoid anybody or whatever, but this is what's going on in my life. I have a plan. I have a goal. And when I set my mind into some shit, I fucking achieve it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I focus on it and I get to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Now, the reason I'm calling this an important class, and I'm not going to be long-winded here. I'm just going to probably, give you guys about an hour of my time, and then we're calling it a night, okay? I'm just a little bit up, not really that tired. I figured this may just help me kind of express my thoughts of what I've been seeing lately. Anyways, a couple brothers sent me some videos, man. Appreciate you guys for doing what you do. Thank you very much. You are in my thoughts. Don't think that I don't think about y'all if I don't call you and shit. You know what I mean? Obviously, I got families. I get it, bro. But just don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So, and this goes props to you, Julio. I haven't talked in a bit, bro. It was good talking to you, bro. I look forward for you to get that fucking promotion, bro. Take that shit. Get that promotion. Okay. All right. Now, you guys see the title? MEXICAS are indigenous to the Americas, hosted by Yoshea. Now, Mexica Chronicles is the channel, right? Like Yoshea or Hosea or like, you know, Joshua, but some people can't fucking wrap their mind around that. So, anyways, I don't mind if y'all call me Mexica. You know, if you want to call me Yoshea or Hosea or Joshua, it's all good, bro. I don't trip. Just don't fucking call my slave name. That's when you're disrespectful. Anyways, let's get to it. All right. Right here, I think it's a beautiful video. You know what? As a matter of fact, because I think I'm the only channel that I give credit to people where credit is due. Like, for example, I give credit to like conquistadors, you know, whether black or white, right? I give credit to like where smallpox came from. Yeah, you're right. You were like, you know what I'm saying? You were enslaving people. That's good. So FBA keeps claiming that they ain't Africans, bro. Foundational Black Africans, they call themselves Americans, which would mean that you're named yourself after Americo Vespucci, which is fucking stupid. Anyway, so foundational Black Africans believe that they're not Africans, or foundational Black Americans, whatever, right? Wobbles think the same shit. But here's why I find it funny. Like, I've been hearing FBA, foundational Black Africans, arguing with Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, like Islander shit, you know what I mean? About who started hip hop, breakdancing, and all that shit. And here you are, you have, you know, our people, you know, fucking hard-headed, like, well, we helped you guys, bro. They don't like you. Why the fuck do you want to hang out with people that don't like you? Anyways, that's not the point. Give them the credit where the credit is due. You're right. Breakdancing is an African thing. So foundational Black Africans or Black Americans, whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves, you embrace breakdancing as if you created breakdancing. Look, listen, man, if it walks like a duck and it smells like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it fucking floats on the water like a fucking duck, bro, it's a fucking duck, bro. Come on, y'all are Africans. Stop it. Stop this fucking nonsense. Here is an example of me giving you the credit where the credit is due. You're right. Breakdancing was an African thing. Foundational Black Africans or foundational Black Americans, whatever the fuck you are considering yourself, embrace it now. Now, listen, if I hurt your feelings, I'm glad. That's what I'm supposed to do, because it's embarrassing that you don't even love who the fuck you are. I was little, man, because I was born in 76 and shit. So, you talking about 83, 84, or 82, maybe, when I could still remember, like, vaguely some of the dances. I'd see people, like, get on their heads like that and flip around or spin around and then kind of, like, trying to balance themselves back and forth. Bro, foundational Black Africans, you are Africans. You created supposedly hip hop. Brother, you are an African. This is where it comes from. Let me go back. Listen, and I don't mind, bro. I appreciate your culture. I really do. What I don't appreciate is fucking thievery, fake bullshit, grifting, stupid ass motherfuckers that claim to be somebody they're not. That's what I don't like. Look at this. 1959 in Kenya, breakdancing originated in Africa, which I don't mind giving people credit for what they are or what they created. It's not a big deal. Did other people, like I guess you could say, had something to do with the growth or development and all that? Yeah, of course. You see Asians, bro. Asians can fucking really break dance and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like other nationalities have added to this fucking game of dancing and music and hip hop. The point being is this: FBA claims that they're not from Africa, but FBA also claims that they invented breakdancing. Well, let's find out. Breakdancing originated in Africa, specifically Kenya, 1959.
that that's not a breakdancing move and shit? You're gonna tell me that somehow, some way, some black folks from here who look like black folks from over there, somehow, some way, that have no relation with each other would dance the same fucking way? It's a little difficult for me to understand that shit. It's kind of like me saying, hey, listen, I like zapateado. I'm doing zapateado and shit, you know, like, and then I try to say that Mexicans, even though they do the same shit, I'm not Mexican. Nah, fuck, I'm not those people. I look like one. I smell like one. I eat like one. You know what I mean? I dance like one. I like the music like one. But nah, I'm not a Mexican. This is fucking hilarious. That is straight up breakdancing, bro. That's straight up break fucking motherfucking dancing, bro. We got Kukulkan Man. He says, DNA says otherwise to those foundational mensos. They do a grift of people who know better, who should know better. We are the brown people of the Americas. I'm about 50-50 indigenous from Jalisco, non-Mexica. And yeah, look, I'll say it like this. Science, and even if you want to be religious, religion bases your heritage off your father, right? So there's no 50-50 concept, brother. If your father's an indigenous man, you are more than likely an indigenous individual. Now, if your mother is an indigenous woman, you do have her mitochondrial DNA aspect of it, but your heritage is from your father. So, like, I could say, oh, I'm 92%, and I've done my DNA and it says that, right? But if my dad was like a gringo and shit, then I'm a gringo, you know what I mean? And it should not be a problem. I mean, honestly, bro, like at this moment of this life right now, with the way things are, like everybody needs to find out who the fuck they are. For real. You don't want to die not knowing who the fuck you are. And by the way, brother, I'm from Jalisco too. I was born in Guadalajara, Colonia Miravalle and shit. I miss it, bro. I mean, I don't know about now, but I missed it for a long time. Let's continue. I don't know, bro. The black people from here dance like the black people from over there. How are you guys not related? Let me just say this real quick, Google Kanman. When you say white, I do want to say, like, this is something our people don't know. All right, I'm going to show you. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to say it. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, I'm going to show you. Now, this is a more animated picture of it, but this is a legitimate picture right here that you see. Okay, so we were misled to believe that we lightened up because white man came and shit. That's a fucking lie, brother. We came in all nice colors, man. We came in all of them. That's why your children may be light skin, dark skin, wavy hair, curly hair, some blonde, some dark. Like I have it all. Like I have all of it from all the perspective. My first son, when he was born, he had curly hair, blondish and shit, but he was golden brown. The rest of my kids all had straight, wavy, but black, dark hair. So when you say white, do you mean like European or like, for as far as you know, they look white, like light skin? Because you can't go by that trait. You see, like for example, my mom on my mom's side, they have esto right here. Tienen manchas, basically, right? or they call it vertigo, so to speak. My aunt, rest in peace, she was albino. My mom didn't have that, but my uncle, my mom's brother, like it was my mom's my tia was the oldest. My mom was the second oldest, and then it was my tío Vicente, right? My tío Chente, we used to call him Chente and shit. Mercedes, I'm sorry, my tío Mercedes, right? And he had that vertigo. So like you could see his face, but if you see his neck, it was all whitish and shit. So it says, mom has 27 Portuguese, some French, and all right, well, I guess, you know what I mean? We all have our journey, brother. But anyways, good to have you here, man. Let's continue. Oh, shit, my bad. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with y'all, man, because guess what, bro? FBA needs to answer. Breakdancing right there, bro. Way before 1970 up in New York and shit. Now, this is, by the way, Brandon Tatum. I didn't make this video, but I thought it was hella fucking funny because FBA, honestly, you get a branch of FBA that supports Donald Trump, which is very fucking awkward to me. How does a foundation of Black Africans or Americans who claim they built America, or, you know, this land here in North America, support a man that wants to destroy all their heritage? Or is it the enemy of my enemy is my friend? So you guys see us as your enemies, which should tell you, and you should actually look into history that confirms what I've been sharing, that we had Negro invaders or Negro conquistadors, just like the white conquistadors. Negro invaders also taught our people Christianity. Negro invaders, just like the white invaders or the Blanco invaders, they had encomiendas. They owned slaves. They were given land. They were given money. They were given freedom. They were given a heritage that they still knew who they were. They didn't do that for us. So when I share this with y'all, it's gonna make you laugh, bro.
Slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, what he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro say, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master identified with himself. And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy.
The reason I'm sharing this is because isn't this the same thing that the white man is saying about us? Supposedly the white man is not the native, right? They're the original people. We were just savages. We're Mongolians, you know, Siberians and shit. We didn't belong here anyways, right? It's the same thing. So he is talking like the white man. Like he is saying, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to deport those motherfucking beaners. Yes, sir. We're going to deport those motherfucking beaners. That's my point.
What do you mean separate? Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat better food than this? That was that house Negro. In those days, he was called a house. And that's what we call him today because we still got some house running around here. This modern house Negro loves his master. He wants to live near him. He'll pay 3 times as much as the house is worth just to live near his master. And then brag about, I'm the only Negro out here.
Isn't that what they're telling us? Isn't that what they're saying? Isn't that what they're agreeing with? FBA is agreeing, right, with deportation of our people. FBA is agreeing with the stripping of citizenship to the native brothers and sisters, who technically we're the same people, but you know how all that fucking political bullshit is. They're the same people supporting this shit. How are they any? The FBA is this guy right here. They're doing what the white man is doing. Yes, sir. I got you, master, sir. Oh, you want to hate Mexicans? You want to say natives ain't from here? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, right, sir. I'll do the same thing you say. Or you want to say the white folks are natives too? Yes, sir. I'll create a foundation of black Africans and claim that natives are never here. They're just Asian folks. They're just Asians.
I'm the only one on my job. I'm the only one in this school. You're nothing but a house Negro.
Before that picture, before, it was a
on my job. I'm the only one in this school. You're nothing but a house.
See that right there? When I hear you stupid ass racist motherfucking people, even our gente, right? Even our gente. Trump, deportation. What's that name? Dennis Diarrhea and shit. I don't know if you're listening, Waracuya, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's the same shit, right here.
Negro. And if someone come to you right now and say, let's separate.
Watch this right here. Watch it. This picture right here is like fucking, dude. It's a gold.
I'm the only one on my job. I'm the only one in this.
See, when he's like, I'm the only one at my job. I'm the only one that's doing this. So you have black folks online saying, deport these motherfuckers. Deport these beaners. Deport these beaners. That's FBA. Right? We already know we got fucking zealots in our people. Like, American homo and shit, whatever the fuck your name is. Shout out to Streets Ain't Loyal. He calls him what's his name? American homo and shit. You know why? What a fucking punk. He started this channel with supposedly being upset of the fact that black folks were beating up our gente, because they were paleteros and selling stuff and they were robbing them. That's how he started this. If you go back to his shit, he started his channel based on that. And now he voted for a man to make sure that not only do they get beat up, they get deported. Wow. What a fucking turnaround, American cho. Let's continue though. But listen, that's you, bro. Deport these Mexicans, deport these illegal aliens. While this white boy is like, hey, wait till we get a hold of you, motherfucker. Wait till we get a hold of you. Bro, seriously, you think they look at you like they look at themselves? They see you just like they see me. We're just tools to them for the benefit of them, their insecurities.
You're nothing but a house Negro. And if someone come to you right now and say, let's separate, you say the same thing that the house Negro said on the plantation. What you mean separate? From America? This good white man? Where you gonna get a better job than you get here? I mean, this is what you say.
So it's like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. This is our country. We built it. Because that's how they think. We ain't gonna get no better job. Listen, I'm gonna say it to you right now, and I don't like talking this way, but I'm putting myself in a position where I don't have to live here. That's what I'm doing, because I work my ass off for it. That's why I haven't really done many classes, to be honest, man. I got a fucking vision. I got to focus. And when I have a vision and focus, I achieve my shit. That I don't ever ask for money in this channel because I actually produce my shit. I write my own checks. Let's continue.
I ain't left nothing in Africa. That's what you say. Why you left your mind in Africa.
And you know what, bro? They've been making. I'm not gonna show this video today, but they were making fun of this brother from Africa. And he's like, trying to say like, bro, you guys got it all wrong and shit. Now this right here. Hold on, let me see. He's like, bro, you guys got it all wrong, blah blah blah. How can you say you're not our people? Like, for example, we all seen the World Cup. We seen the World Cup. We seen black folks from Germany, from Britain, from France, from other countries that look like black folks from here. And the black folks from here try to say they're not like Africans like them. Bro, no, this is the most fucking interesting part. Let me share this with you first quick, before we go into the actual video that I want to share with you. Okay. And I don't want to get all biblical right now, but I want to share this with you. Okay. You have to be logical when you read this Bible at the same time. Can't just like, have imaginary bullshit in your mind, okay? Now, this is why it's important to read what they're saying to you. They always go to Deuteronomy 28. The curses, the curses. Okay. In Deuteronomy 28, it says, first of all, this right here, okay? I'm going to share this with, let's start here first, so you can get a very good perspective on what this chapter is talking about. Now, these motherfuckers are going to say, well, it didn't happen all the time, but then they'll say this was the worst slavery ever. So which one is it? It didn't happen all at the same time? If it was the worst slavery ever, then all of the shit happened at the same time, okay? Now, it says in verse 4, in Deuteronomy 28:49, it says that the Lord shall bring a nation against the Israelites from far, from the end of the earth. Let's pause right there. If these motherfuckers were ruling Europe, how does this even make sense? Okay, because they also say that when they were expelled, which I have a phenomenal class coming up about that expulsion of the Jews, which is going to decimate their fucking Canaanite mentality. But anyways, that's another class. Here we're going to see, how in the world can you say that because you were expelled, you went to Africa? That's what they say. You fucking ask any BHI stupid ass cult, ISUPK, GMS, IUIC, you ask them, they'll say we were expelled from Europe and they went to Africa. Okay, follow me. And that's so if that's the case, then the Lord shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth. If you are the Israelites, what nation from afar, from the end of the earth, hold on, that has a sign of an eagle, and that a tongue that you never understood, with a fierce countenance, should basically destroy you, right? Verse 49 and 50 is saying specifically that a nation that you do not know, meaning like you don't have a familiar understanding of their language, is going to come from afar, from the other side of the world, to destroy you. I'm sorry, Negros, y'all are from Africa. You're just a skip and a hop away from Spain or Portugal. And if you say you ruled Europe, well, you just went a skip and a hop down south. That's not all, folks. Okay? It also says this right here in verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee. Now, we can break this down and talk about which king. That's not even important. That's not even relevant. You know what's relevant? The second part. Unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. If you ruled Europe, you would have not known them. If you ruled Europe, there's no way that this applies to you, because it says that these people that are going to enslave you, Negroes, would be a nation that you nor your fathers have ever known. Meaning probably 1,000 years ago, maybe you might have remembered, like, you know what I'm saying? But you can't go from 1492 expelled down to Africa and all of a sudden get enslaved and say, I don't know who these guys are. What the fuck? And then it says, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. And let's pause that right there. Wait, just hold on to that thought. So let's go to verse 64. Okay, I see you guys posting stuff. I'll get to you in a bit. Okay, let me just get to this. So now let's go to verse 64. Now, they always go to this particular part because obviously it's like, the ships. Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto another. Right? Watch. But see, they don't tell you the rest. Watch what it says. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So it says here that when these people enslave you, who are very foreign to you, you don't know their language, you don't know their customs, you don't know their religion, right? That when they do enslave you, like, you're going to serve a religion that you're not familiar with. So How the fuck, after everything I read to you, does this make fucking sense? Oh, wait, hold on. Before I even finish, hold on a second, because I don't want no holes to be left open. Judith 5, right? Judith 5 talks about the Israelites, by the way. Don't forget the thoughts that we just read before. Judith 5 talks about how the Israelites, right? They were in a certain area, and this guy was trying to find out, like, okay, who are those people that are in our way, basically, right? So watch Judith 5, 6 and 7. These people are descendants of the Chaldeans. These are the Israelites, okay? And they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia before they would, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. So it says that before they came to Mesopotamia, they were in Chaldea, meaning the the Chaldees, the point of, let's say, Iran and Iraq, okay? Right there where the Euphrates is, where they're basically having a lot of wars going on right now. All right, so now, watch this real quick. For they left the way of their ancestors, and they worshiped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast him out of their face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. So it says that the Israelites came out of the the Chaldees, not Africa, by the way. Just checking with you. Now, here's the point. In verse 17, it explicitly says to you, it says to all of us when you read this, it says that the Israelites, when they sin against God, our creator, we get decimated. And while they sin not before their God, they prospered, because the God they hated, because the God that hated iniquity was with them. Watch. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore. So my question is, if you're ruling Europe and we're the same people, what the fuck were you teaching in Europe? And if you were teaching supposedly Hebrewism, how come it's not even fucking testified? And if you were over there ruling Europe, then that means you knew Christianity. You knew how to speak English, Spanish, Dutch, French, German, fucking Russian, Prussian, Khazar, all the fucking shit. Why? This is why it's important to read the Bible and listen to their bullshit.
Black people ruled Europe for 1,000 years. They called them boy. Benjamin Franklin said, we don't want America to be black like Europe. So when you make that blanket statement that everybody was white, that's a lie.
No, the original Christians
were called the N-word, Acts 13:1. When they called the disciples, Barnabas and Simeon, that was called that word.
That word only comes up one time in the New Testament. Matter of fact, that word only comes up one time in the whole entire Bible. I mean, by that fucking sense, there's another guy named Aquila, which means águila, which means eagle. Does that mean he's a fucking eagle too? Yo, we got eagle-looking men walking around in the Bible and shit, in Acts as well.
It means black, and in Acts 11:26, that's when they were called Christians first. So Christ was a Jew, he was black. Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian. He was not mistaken for a Roman. So when you say that they was white, you're lying. Before 400 and 500 AD, the Israelites that were called Christians would be melanated. They would not be white. So as they're carrying that and teaching other Israelites, they would also be black.
That's why it's important for you to understand your heritage, my friends. Read, learn, study, and don't fall for the fucking okie doke. This is the last video. This is what I wanted to share with you. I think this is important, man. I like it. A lot of times he says some, stuff about Morenos and shit all the time and shit, but this time he actually says some good stuff about our people and shit, gives us some history, some understanding, and just some fucking logical sense, bro. You know what I mean? When you listen to these fucking MAGAs and maggots saying, get rid of these Mexicans, all these foreigners are coming into our country. I'm like, bro, you fucking stupid, dirty Europeans came off the boat. We didn't go to Europe. You guys came here. You know what I'm saying? For you to say that we're invading, no, this is what we've been here. You know what I mean? Now, if we were in Europe and we were invading, it makes sense. But that's not the fucking case. Damn. Anyways, I hope you guys appreciate this video. I may chime in, man, but I think you're going to love it. Let's go.
This immigration drama that we have right now is only possible because we don't understand our own history. As a country, and particularly those of us of European descent, we have lied to ourselves about how we got here and for what reason. See, black folks know why they're here. Native peoples know why they're here and how they got here. A lot of Asian folk know, particularly if they're Chinese American, they know they got here because their ancestors were brought over to work on the railroads by the railroad barons who didn't care if thousands of them died laying track 19, 20 hours a day. But for those of us who are from Europe, we have.
By the way, I just want to say this to you, FBAs, you Foundation of Black Africans that claim you built this country. Were you laying down those railroad tracks like the Asian brothers and sisters and shit going down there fucking losing their life because they were being worked for 14, 16 hours a day? Oh, you didn't know that. I don't remember seeing any Negroes working the tracks. This is why it's also important to know not many natives were working the tracks and not many Mexicans were either. Yes, they were. There were Mexicans working the tracks, but there were many more Asians. So when you say supposedly certain people built America, you are out of your fucking culo. Matter of fact, your hemorrhage is bleeding. Shut the fuck up, clean it up, and just put a diaper on.
This fiction that we've told, and we believe it, even though there's no truth to it. You know what the fiction is? It's two parts. Number one, we say things like, with regard to Mexicans coming over the border, with regard to immigrants coming over, but only that border. That's the only one we care about, right? The southern border. I find that interesting. We're not flipping out about Canada, right? We only care about that one border, forgetting for a minute that that border was created at the end of a war that was started on false pretense by this country, after which we jacked half of their country. And you weren't taught that in school either, because our history books aren't interested in telling the truth. They tell this very patriotic history that has no relationship to the fact. So that border is artificial. Mexican folk who are coming here, documented or not, let's be clear, are coming home. Their families were here before our families were here in almost every instance. But we forget that, and then we say things like, well, I don't mind them coming. I just want them to come legally like my people did. The hell does that even mean? Come legally? There was no law to break when our people came. The fact that we didn't break a law that didn't even exist, you don't get cookies for that. You don't get like a pat on the back and a gold star because your great whatever was law abiding when there was no law that he could have violated even if he wanted to. But we've told this lie that we came for these upstanding principles. So we'll say things like, well, you know, our people came for liberty and freedom. These people are just coming for stuff. They're just coming for jobs. They're just coming for health care. They're just coming for stuff. We came for high-minded principle, right? Because we believe that. What kind of third-grade version of American history is that, right? Like when Donald Trump says, well, Mexico's not sending their best. What the hell, you think Europe sent their best? Our people were the losers of Europe. The winners didn't get on the boat. You understand what I'm saying? The winners didn't leave. Why the hell would you leave if you were winning? Only the losers left because they had no choice. They were dying. They were starving. They couldn't support their families.
I like Latinas, but when the fuck did all these brown people show up? America was white and black. I understand why black people are here.
Yeah.
We had slavery. I understand why they're here. When did all these Mexicans show up?
Okay, so apparently when this white boy got slapped,
You gave him a ticket. Whoa.
he lost quite a few IQ points. All right, here's a map of the United States and Mexico. Mexico used to be bigger. The United States fought a war with them, lost. Mexico sold the majority of its land to the United States. Manifest destiny. Now, those Mexicans didn't go anywhere. So much so that we have cities in the United States called Los Angeles, San Diego, San Antonio. Ringing any bells? And also, when did all these Mexicans show up? Bro, just say you don't own property, okay? Because if anything goes wrong with your house, guess who's showing up?
Now, I'm sure a lot of Mexican Americans know this story, but for the rest of us, let me put you onto something that this country never wanted us to know. There was a decade in Texas where Mexican Americans were hunted, not secretly, not by French groups. I'm talking Texas Rangers, sheriffs, and
That is a very ugly history, by the way, with the Texas Rangers. In case you didn't know, there was a lot of lynching involved. There's a book called, luckily I have it here. I think it's this one. I think it's Harvest of an Empire, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Was it this one? Or maybe it's Open Veins in Latin America. One of those two books gives you statistics on how many of our people were being lynched per capita. It was high or higher than so-called African Americans being lynched here. So a lot of shit that you guys don't know about, man. It was definitely stolen. Fuck that shit. Matter of fact, let me see if she shares something about a particular past that really is horrible.
white vigilantes, killing people with badges pinned to their chests like permission slips. And this period has a name, La Matanza, the massacre. 1910 to 1920. And the only reason you didn't learn about it in school is because Texas made sure you never did. So how did this all start? Let me tell you. Texas was in a panic. The Mexican Revolution was happening right across the border. And white ranchers were afraid that the land that
One? Is it in that one? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get it. I was looking at it. It's just I have a lot of highlights. Hey man, I appreciate y'all being here tonight with me, man. Seriously, I can't sleep. And then, you know, when I kind of express my thoughts and shit, then I'll take a melatonin and all of a sudden I sleep a little better. So I appreciate you guys being here, man. That's good. Appreciate you very much, my friends. I have insomnia and shit. Insomnia and some anxiety, you know, I had it since I was a kid. What page is it in, man? In case I don't know. Are you sure it's in that one, bro? Hold on, let me see. Let me look at the Lynch dictionary in the back. I'll make it quick. I'm not going to take too much time. Okay. Nah, man, it ain't that one, dude. You know what? What a dummy, bro. Now, hey, BTC. I know why I couldn't find it. You know why I couldn't find it? Because I was looking at the open veins instead of the Office of Empire. All right, hold on. That's funny, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's that age and shit. Hey, don't get me wrong, bro. I feel young as hell. But obviously, I'm physically older, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it fucking sucks. Do all you young bucks out there, bro, take advantage of your youth and get wise as you're young. You know how you get wise as you're young? By slowing the fuck down and listening to other people. And getting out of your ego, man. You're not the smartest person in the world. The dumbest person will even give you the best advice. You want to know why? Because they see shit more simpler than your complicated fucking ass. That's why you guys assume that people are dumb. Which is the sad part of it, man. Okay, hold on. Is this it? Oh man. I don't even know. Hey, bro, I don't even remember what fucking page it is now, dude. Anyhow, my bad, man. So listen. In this book here, Harvest of an Empire, you're also going to find out the meaning of manifest destiny, okay? You're also going to find out about that. And when you actually read, here, I'll read a little bit. Page 43 of Harvest of Empire, it says, proponents of the manifest destiny saw Latin Americans as inferior in cultural makeup. Let me read that again. Proponents of manifest destiny saw Latin Americans, like raza, indigenous, as inferior in cultural makeup and bereft of a democratic institution. Our country's Calvinist beliefs reinforce those territorial ambitions perfectly. Calvinists are Christians, you know what I mean? Those that believe in the white Jesus. Supposedly, yeah, they love you. Yeah, they also kill you. Americans, fuck you. North Americans, which claim to be from here, are Europeans, could point to the nation's prosperity to its amazing new network of canals, steamboats and railroads. So this is how they feel superior over you, right? Somebody else invents it, but because they're white, they think they're superior than you. As proof of their God-given destiny to conquer the frontier. It says the newspapers and magazines of the day were complete with articles by noted phrenologists like George Caldwell and Dr. Josiah Nott, who pronounced the superiority of white Europeans over Indians, blacks, and Mexicans. Yeah, you keep voting for Trump, my friends.
that's stolen might not stay stolen. So the state did what America always does when it wants to justify violence. It manufactured a threat. Mexicans are dangerous. Mexicans are bandits. Mexicans are rebels. Mexicans are spies. And once you label an entire group as a threat, you've already written the permission slip for violence. That's when the killings began. Door-to-door raids, kidnappings, interrogations, shootings without trial. Some
Mexicans are like criminal if they're just waltzing into places called San Diego, New Mexico, Los Angeles. Babe, who the fuck do you think lived in the United States of America before it existed? Mexicans. And you're confused why they're here? Because they always were, genius. But you're out here going, well, Israel and Britain had the right to just take over Palestine and kill all those people and destroy all their cities because, you know, they were there thousands of years ago. I'm sorry. Mexicans were here before you. Mexicans and Native Americans were on this land. They're indigenous to this land.
I'm glad that she says that shit because I'm so sick of this liberal democratic side that you motherfuckers like, well, you know, it's not fair that Israel should do that to the Palestinians. Excuse me. Have you not noticed that you've been doing that shit to our people since you motherfucking showed up here? They're doing the micro level. You did this shit on a macro level with us, bro. Come on. Let me play this one more time, bro, in case you guys missed it.
New Mexico. Los Angeles. Babe, who the fuck do you think lived in the United States of America before it existed? Mexicans. And you're confused why they're here? Because they always were, genius. But you're out here going, well, Israel and Britain had the right to just take over Palestine and kill all those people and destroy all their cities because, you know, they were there thousands of years ago. I'm sorry. Mexicans were here before you. Mexicans and Native Americans were on this land. They're indigenous to this land, not people that look like this color. Not people who have sun damage this visible at the age of 28. You think Mexico just appeared with a magical line at the top? You think it was born with the fence? God made the earth in 7 days, and on the 8th day, he put up the fence between Mexico and the United States of America. They're going to change the fucking Bible to say that shit pretty soon. I got my tongue cut, and I may have just ripped a stitch because I'm supposed to be talking like this, and I'm so mad that I'm fucking... Uh-oh. Fuck you, racist motherfucker! Oh, and Israel deported Greta Thunberg and everyone on the Freedom Flotilla. Deported? From international waters? That's not a thing, babe. That's called abduction. What do you mean deported? They weren't in Israel. The fuck are you talking about? That's kidnapping. I can't just fucking go into the Caribbean Ocean and deport someone from Canada and send them back to another country. Bitch, you weren't in Canada. And the Swedish government being like, Greta Thunberg knows the risks and she's not in danger, so we're not going to send anyone to help her. 2 weeks ago, they bombed the Freedom Flotilla. 15 years ago, they literally killed 10 fucking people doing the exact same thing. She's not in danger.
Let me show you guys a picture that a lot of you probably don't know that's been around forever. Okay, so when we say that, like, for example, the brother says, fuck the Democratic, Republicans, and independents, right? Because it's a system that they wrote for themselves. You see, here's the deal, fam. Blacks and whites, as much as they may want you to be part of their voting association, they don't give a fuck about you. This is a black and white thing. I'm going to tell you this right now. Look at that right there. You see, they tell you that the history between them two is different to keep you outside of the circle. Why? Because it doesn't benefit them for you to know that they both enslaved you before they enslaved themselves. You see, people are just evil. So, you know, it's like, how many times have you guys known or had a friend, bro, you guys grew up with? And all of a sudden, I'm not saying it from personal experience because, like, I had a friend, but he never, like we don't hang out no more, but he never, like, did something, like, backstab me bad, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about that. But I've known the people that have been backstabbed. Grew up with a friend, fucking diehard friend and shit. They get older and all of a sudden, bro, his friend is fucking his wife. A friend from since he was a child. Or another guy that they went into business and he fucking robbed them. So people, like just people in general, when they're just evil, it'll show up. However, when people are evil and they're around their groups, it would really be exposed and written in history. And a lot of times we don't even look at what the fuck this means. How is it that this young lady who looks nothing like him or him is being sold as a slave, while these women are not being sold as slaves? Matter of fact, they're hanging out with the husbands. The husbands are doing their work. The women are chilling out. These bitches ain't getting sold. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You guys may think it is. It's not. It's not. It's very clear. You didn't know that.
She put her life on the line. Like, we read books about Anne Frank, bro. We're going to read books about Greta Thunberg, and people, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, and people are going to be like, what do you mean the Swedish government was like, she's perfectly safe? Dude, she risked getting killed to raise awareness for Palestine, and people were like, oh, it was just a publicity stunt. You call raising awareness?
She talks a lot of political shit up for a little while. Let me skip it. All right. There goes this other one. This one's interesting right here. Check this one out.
Immigrant, the grandson of an immigrant, and married to an immigrant. In fact, 2 of his 3 wives were immigrants, proving yet again that immigrants will do the jobs that even Americans are not willing to do.
What a mic drop.
My name is Cyrus.
Nice to meet you, Cyrus.
I am also son of 2 immigrants, came in legally. I'm also Persian descent.
Fantastic.
Born in LA.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Terangeles.
Yes. Well, I am mainly upset, not at the immigrants, legal or not. I'm mainly upset at Wall Street. I'm mainly upset at the elites, the special interests. They are the main reason why we've been having this issue since 1965. And I understand most want to do well. There are a few bad apples, we can agree.
Okay.
But we want to go after the elites. They are the main cause of the problem.
Love it.
And just like healthcare, trade, everything.
Did you know, Cyrus, that the top 1% dodge $163 billion in taxes every year, while undocumented people pay $100 billion?
Yeah, I forgot about this part. My bad. This is a little political part. Okay, here it goes right here. Here we go.
Actually, we can. That's why I tried to come in today, but anyway.
What are your thoughts about the immigration crisis in this country?
As far as immigration, I mean, guys, we're in the United States of America, not the divided states of America. And what do I mean by that is, this country was built by immigrants. You know, if we're going to talk about the ones that were here first, then we got to talk about the Native Americans. So with that said, and me being a Cuban American, first generation Cuban American, my family, that's one thing that was always embedded in me. It's like, we already did it for you. Like, you were born here. Now, if you don't take advantage of this country after what we've been through, you know, whether it was the revolution, my mother that came in Peter Pan, the operation of Peter Pan, my father brought boats over in the Mariel boat lift, it was like, you got to take full advantage of this country. Now, with that said, how do I feel about that? I mean, if we really do our history, this is the truth, by the way. Mexico's not crossing the border crossed Mexico. All right. If you have, if we're going to talk, you know, what it is, that's why you have cities like Los Angeles, San Antonio, El Paso, Las Vegas, San Diego. I mean, those sound like Spanish words to me, you know, or names, I would say. It goes to show you.
Is it true that LA used to be part of Mexico? Yes, Los Angeles used to be part of Mexico. This is a very intricate story, and we need to start from its indigenous roots. Long before Europeans arrived, the Togva and Chumash tribes live in what's now Los Angeles. The Togva had trade networks, villages, and still have a deep cultural history to this region. Then the Spaniards arrived to Los Angeles. Mexico wasn't a country yet. This country was called Nueva España, or New Spain. Then the Spanish founded El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora, la Reina de los Ángeles, which means the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels. You can still visit this small pueblo. It's literally Olvera Street. This was the first European settlement in Los Angeles. You go to Olvera Street, you can also visit Avila Adobe, which is the oldest house in Los Angeles. Then Mexico wins its independence from Spain. LA becomes part of Mexico. As you can see, Mexico was really huge and the United States was right there. Mexican government encourages people to move to California. They called it Alta California. Agriculture and livestock became LA's main economy. Then the US wanted to spread from sea to shiny sea, so this happened. They started the Mexican-American War and Mexico lost. Mexico lost half its territory and LA was no longer part of Mexico. After the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed, it transferred California to the United States, making LA officially a US city. Under this treaty, Mexicans living in LA became official US citizens. Today, LA is a multicultural city filled with very many different cultures. Never forget the indigenous and also Mexican heritage of Los Angeles.
Which is your country? Is the United States your country or is Mexico your country?
But yeah, I can still say like Mexico. It's like, you know,
is that your country or isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not like my actual country.
So what's your
like
country?
I'm I was born here in the United States.
So who are your countrymen?
Well, I'm Mexican American, but I do have family in Mexico.
Sure.
Yeah.
You have family there, but who are your countrymen?
I think she's highlighting her ethnic background.
Oh, is that what you think? I didn't know that she was doing that, but I'm really.
A second, let me pause it real quick with this little fucking cracker barrel motherfucker, bro. When he says, who are your countrymen, is saying like, who are you, like on what side? Excuse me, shut the fuck up, bro. When you look at a brown man like me, the first thing you're gonna ask is do I have papers? Second thing you're gonna ask is, am I a Christian? So stop this bullshit. You know what I mean? This is why you need to just, y'all need to just shut the fuck up. It's just so silly, bro, that you guys really think this way, and it's just so easy to step on you like cockroaches.
Glad you clarified. It's super nice of you.
Thank you.
Mexicans can't be illegal on stolen lands. Yeah, that's right. This is an old map of Mexico.
Who are you countrymen? I mean, I don't know. Are you telling me like countrymen like you? Like, do I know you? Do I know you? Are you my countrymen? Like, have you ever sat down and fucking ate together and shit? You know my family? Do I know yours? Shut your ass with this stupid ass. Oh my God, let me enclose you with my little gap. No, man. That's a stupid ass way to debate people. This is why you slice these idiots in half, fam. You push them back in their own, what do you call it? Their own, with their own concepts.
Mexico, as you can see, a large part of the United States belonged to Mexico. And during the Mexican-American War in 1846 through 1848, Mexico had to give up 50% of its territory. They wanted peace. Yeah, the United States paid about $15 million for it. However, it was still stolen. Can you guys imagine someone coming to your house, putting a gun on your head, and telling you you have to sell your home or else you're going to die? What are you going to do? Yeah, they gave you money. However, they forced you to sell your property, aka stolen.
My family, if you guys follow my channel, you guys know I did a class on that. It goes deeper than that. When you talk about lodges, Freemasonry, people in power, negotiation behind closed doors, that's exactly how it happened. That's exactly how it happened.
Now Mexicans are being deported from California. Like, come on. Mexicans basically came back to their lands. That's all it is. They're back in their lands. And they're deporting innocent people, hard workers, the fruit pickers, the vegetable pickers. Now what's going to happen to your avocado toast? Where are you going to get it from? Deport the criminals. There's a lot of criminals out there. Don't come get the hardworking Mexicans, hardworking Latinos. They're just out there trying to work, trying to feed their families. They're not bothering anybody.
It is with a heavy heart that I make this video for my Mexican brothers and sisters that believe that the United States is in possession of land that once rightfully belonged to Mexico. Now, I know a lot of us like to say that this right here, the Southwest, is stolen land from Mexico. But in fact, only controlled the Southwest for 27 years from 1821 to 1848. This land you see here never actually belonged to Mexico. It belonged to various indigenous nations, including the Apache, the Hopi, the Comanche, the Navajo. Spain was the one that colonized this region through violent land seizures, forced assimilation of indigenous peoples. After gaining independence in 1821, Mexico inherited these upper territories from Spain. As soon as that happened, the United States took it by force from Mexico, all except Texas, which Texas volunteered to secede from Mexico as they were having troubles. So as it stands, both Mexico and the United States displaced indigenous people through conquest policy, colonization, and land appropriation. So the narrative that the United States stole Mexico's land is a bad one because Mexico stole it first. So a thief telling another thief, you stole my land, tough. It's a tough sell for anyone.
California does not really belong to the United States. It belongs to Mexico, and we stole it from them in 1850. We did this by tricking them and buying some land and forcing a surrender during that war. But you can't send your troops and your ICE soldiers into California and start sending people back to Mexico when technically anybody in California is actually already in Mexico. And this is why those of us in the resistance are really just saying, look, we're decolonizing this place, all right? We're not going to stand for any more of that imperialistic, patriarchal colonialization, and we're going to take a stand and say, hey, these Mexican dudes who live right here alongside us, we're actually in their country, okay? So it's not okay for us to start sending them back when we're actually in their backyard. And that is why it's important to take a stand with a peaceful protest, and if Donald Trump wants to escalate, if Donald Trump wants to say, we're going to send these people, we're going to send people back to Mexico.
Hey, I'll be honest, man. I don't know if I can trust this guy, all right? Just letting you know.
We're going to point it out. Buddy, this is Mexico. We are on Mexico territory. This is stolen land. And you have no right to throw people out of a country that is actually already theirs.
Who do you think is more of a Texan? An Indian that came from New Delhi or a Mexican that's got smuggled by the cartel to come in here?
Is neither an option?
I guess so.
See, Mexico is closer to Texas, but Texas is actually built on a foundational rejection of Mexican sovereignty and cultural imperialism. So you would say that Texas is innately anti-Mexican while having no connection to the Indians. So it's kind of what's closer to one, -0 or -0. It doesn't really make sense.
Who do you think is a typical Texan? Who can be a Texan?
Yo, did this guy really think he sounded smart, bro?
Who are you?
Negative times a negative equals a negative times a positive equals a positive negative. You know what I mean? Plus a negative and divided by 1. What the fuck?
Well, I would say a Texan needs to be an American, of course. Specifically, and an American is a descendant of the European pioneer settlers, and Texas was, of course, it was its own.
He said European pioneer settlers, like as if he pioneered. It's all bullshit. Like, you know, and if you really look at the history of Cracker Barrels, man, you know, you find out that their fucking shit is so weak. I mean, they stand like you know, they're gonna barf all over you about how they feel. But when you actually know history, it's just so easily fucking debunked. Think about it for a moment. They believe the old history that we were all told in high school, that the white man came and did everything. You understand that? They have no concept or are willing to accept the fact that since 1492, there was Morenos helping them throughout the fucking moment. He says at the same time that these Anglos, supposedly pioneers, established anything. You know, they did not. A lot of times, unfortunately, our brothers, you know, they agree too much with their fucking treaties. They believe these idiots too much. They thought these motherfuckers would keep their word, bro. Like, if that's how you're raised, that your word is your bond, like you agree with your word, that's what you believe in, that's the life, like that's what you're raised with. And you meet people, you think they're humans like you, but they don't even know how to keep a fucking promise, a pledge. A pledge or a promise is so difficult for these motherfuckers to even keep. Our natives believe these pieces of shits too much. Had it not been, look, listen, you guys look up information and just embarrass these Cracker Barrels all day. 1609 starving times, okay? 1609 starving times. Okay, that's the story that they don't want to talk to you about, right? So there was white people that stayed back here and they were too lazy to, like, you know, take care of their food, or so they ended up becoming like, you know, starving and becoming cannibals. They ate themselves. They were eating the dead. Yes, white people were doing that in 1609. It's called starving time. So idiots like him, they don't know that. Of course. You know, they're just isolated with the bullshit stories that we all once were told in high school. And that I think that if you've been following this channel, you should know that that's not even fucking the truth at all.
Nation state for a time. For about 10 years, it was sovereign, and it was a rejection of Mexican rule. It was a rejection of the mulatto imperialism of Santa Anna. And it was the extension of Anglo-Saxon rule over the country, which superseded the boundaries of the United States and instead was bound by a greater racial loyalty. And that's what people don't realize nowadays in Texas.
Total bullshit. So let's go back a little bit. Do you guys understand why there was a war between the British colonies and, you know, Britain? It's because they wanted to expand. They wanted to expand and take over lands that our native brothers and sisters lived in. So they talk about patriotism and law-abiding citizens and, you know, keeping your word. Fuck you, you deceiving Cracker Barrel motherfuckers. If our native brothers and sisters would have just been assholes, you would have been dead. Dead. You wouldn't have made it. What are you talking about? But, you know, like dumbasses, I guess, you know, we gave you the benefit of the doubt. There you go. That's exactly what occurred.
That Texas had its own war for sovereignty that had very heavy ethnic lines. It was its own microcosm of the American Revolution. That's why.
That's total bullshit, you know, anyways, let's continue.
Today, sovereignty is so important not only in Texas but around the country because our history is so rich in these battles. Remember the
Is it true that LA used to be part of Mexico? Yes. Before California became part of the United States in 1850, Los Angeles was part of Mexico. And before then, it was part of the Spanish Empire. And before that, it was part of the indigenous population's territory. Los Angeles was founded in 1781 by a group of settlers from Mexico, many of whom were indigenous, Mexican, and Afro-Mexican, and established El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora, la Reina de los Ángeles del Río Porciúncula. That's right. LA's original name, city layout, and culture all began as part of Mexico. After Mexican independence from Spain in 1821, LA became a Mexican rancho town. Many families ran cattle ranches, laid irrigation systems, and built adobe houses that would eventually become the foundation of LA. Streets like Sepulveda, Olivera, Alvarado were all named after Mexican settlers. Oh,
way before we all get caught up in the amazing aspect of our history, you have to understand that they also kept you at a lower level compared to other nationalities. You need to understand that because even at that time, y'all didn't know how to read.
and don't forget Pio Pico and Pico Street. When the U.S. took over California in 1848, the land changed hands, but the people didn't. Mexican labor built the railroads, harvested the crops, and paved the roads that turned LA into a modern city. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, over 1 million people of Mexican descent were deported in what's known as the Mexican repatriation, including many U.S. citizens. LA was a major site of these.
You guys don't know that also had to do with like Eisenhower. That's why I don't understand why a lot of people are like, I did not know that he was going to do that. Bro, he said it. It's going to be like way beyond Eisenhower time, meaning wet bag operation, which is no different than this one.
Forced removals. Then during World War II, when the U.S. needed labor again, the government created the Bracero program in 1942 to 1964, bringing in millions of Mexican workers to fill jobs in agriculture, construction, and railroads. These braceros fueled LA's post-economic boom.
So you see, our people did also get your fucking work in the railroads. That's why I said earlier, I'm not saying that our people didn't do it. We did. We were in there. Watch it.
Program 1942 to 1964, bringing in millions of Mexican workers to fill jobs in agriculture, construction, and railroads.
Roads, suckers. FBA. Hold on. Give me a second.
These braceros fueled LA's post-economic boom, building infrastructure, growing food, and supporting industries while facing harsh working conditions and discrimination. Mexican people built LA's neighborhoods like Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights, East LA, while also creating cultural landmarks like murals, tienditas, churches that still stand today. Today, LA has the largest population of Mexicans outside of Mexico City. This isn't just history. It explains why so many Mexican-American families say we didn't cross the border crossed us.
You realize that?
Yeah, that's why I left her at the end, bro. I got you, dude. It's all good, man. Hey, anyways, man, appreciate y'all being here, bro. Thank you very much. I'm about to fucking head out. Very informative, man. I honestly, I don't know, man. I hope that the information that we share. And I say we because a lot of you brothers, man, you guys been watching, or sisters too, you guys been watching the channel for a while, bro. So I hope that, the information that we share, bro, like really actually gets the people that then can all of a sudden start saying like, what? Like, what do you mean by that? And then there goes that questioning. That's the beginning of like, oh, fuck, here we go. Anyways. All right, fam. So you guys have a good night, man. Hope you guys do well. Again, I'm gonna limit the time, the classes that I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try to get at least one good one once a month. All right, I promise y'all, I'm gonna try to at least get one good video once a month, so I can get that one. Cristobal Colon. That shit is the one that I really want to get done. You guys have a good night. All right.
México no se puede convertir en la siguiente Palestina. Colonias israelíes formándose en lugares del país de México. México es la herencia solamente de los mexicanos. No queremos otras nacionalidades queriéndose adueñar de nuestra nación. ¡México no se vende! Desde la tierra del águila y la serpiente, que retumbe la historia. México se respeta. México no puede perder su identidad, ni entregar su territorio, ni vender su dignidad. La historia nos enseña, tenemos memoria. Cada palmo de esta tierra lleva sangre, lleva historia. No importa cuánto dinero quieran ofrecer, hay cosas en la vida que no se pueden vender. Desde el norte hasta el sur se levanta nuestra voz. La patria no es negocio, la patria es corazón. Que quede bien claro, que se escuche la verdad. Defendemos nuestra tierra, nuestra independencia y paz, sin atacar al inocente, sin sembrar discriminación. Pero México decide sobre México, esa es nuestra convicción. México no se vende, la tierra de nuestros padres pertenece a nuestra gente. México no se vende, que todo el mundo lo entienda. No queremos colonialismo disfrazado de riqueza. Del desierto hasta la selva, de la sierra hasta la costa, cuando México se levanta, nadie compra nuestra historia. No queremos que el dinero dicte nuestra dirección, ni intereses extranjeros controlando la nación. Que se respeten nuestras leyes, nuestra constitución. La soberanía del pueblo no está puesta en negociación. Puebla, Sonora, Chiapas, Jalisco y Nuevo León, Veracruz, Oaxaca, Guerrero y Michoacán, 32 entidades levantando una canción. Primero está mi México y después la ambición. No importa tu apellido, tu creencia o religión, si respetas esta tierra mereces el mismo honor. Pero aquel que venga buscando controlar la nación encontrará un pueblo unido defendiendo su nación. No es cuestión de religiones, no es cuestión de nacionalidad, es cuestión de soberanía, de justicia y libertad. Que nadie compre en nuestros campos, que nadie mande sobre el pueblo. México tiene memoria y México tiene dueño. México no se vende, México se defiende. La tierra de nuestros padres pertenece a nuestra gente. México no se vende, que todo el mundo lo entienda. No queremos colonialismo disfrazado de riqueza. Somos hijos de una historia que jamás se arrodilló, de guerrero, de zapata, de quien por la patria luchó. Somos pueblos originarios, somos campo y tradición. Somos millones de voces compartiendo una nación. Que se escuchen las fronteras, que retumbe la ciudad. México abre sus caminos con justicia y dignidad. Pero nunca confundamos al inocente con el poder, porque defender la patria no significa odiar ni ofender. México no se compra, México no se entrega, México no se arrodilla. Desde Libres, Puebla para el mundo, Adán.
Y
Hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros, amamos esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.